Hello chess lovers, I have a very impressive attacking game for you played by Gudju and Bogdanovsky. The game was played in 1927 in Paris. Gudju started with e4 and e5 by Bogdanovsky, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, we see the Italian game, knight f6, two knights defense, and d4 white is choosing the open variation, and after e takes d4 the game is transformed into a Scotch Gambit, white castles kingside, allowing black to capture on e4 as well. Rook e1 pinning the knight, d5 protecting the knight, also attacking the bishop. Well, the best move is capturing on d5 and then playing knight c3, using the fact that the queen is pinned and winning back the lost piece. But instead, after d5 we see knight c3, bishop e6. Actually, it was nothing wrong with capturing on c3. After d takes c3, the following variation can arise. White can capture on d5. If bishop e6, then bishop takes e4. And if queen takes d1, then rook takes d1, c takes b2, bishop takes b2. Though black has an extra pawn, but white has a compensation. White is better developed and more active. But instead, after knight c3, we see bishop e6. And here comes knight takes e4, d takes c4, and knight g5. Now white is threatening to capture on e6, queen d5, and a very crazy looking sacrifice, knight takes f7. White is now unleashing a very dangerous attack, using the fact that black king is stuck in the center of the board. King takes f7, knight g5 check, king g8, and white is now simply capturing on e6. Rook c8, protecting the pawn on c7, but actually this is very passive. It was better to place the rook on e8. If knight takes c7, then exchange the rooks and then play queen f5. But instead, after knight takes e6, we see rook c8. Here comes another mind-blowing move by Gudju, bishop h6. Developing the bishop and placing it on h6 square under attack. Bishop b4. Well, accepting the sacrifice and capturing on h6 can be very dangerous, because white can play queen g4 check and then rook e4. Later there are some threats of rook f4. Also white can double up the rooks on e-file, and this is going to be a very dangerous attack. But instead, after bishop h6, we see bishop b4. The rook on e1 is under attack, but now white plays knight takes g7, knight e5. Well, if bishop takes e1, then white has queen g4 move, both threatening some discovered checks. Also the rook on c8 is hanging. According to the engine, the best defensive move for black is bishop takes f2, but white can then play simply king h1. And if a move like, for example, rook d8, then knight h5 check followed by queen g7 check and then knight f4 check, winning the queen. But instead, after knight takes g7, we see knight e5, rook e2, d3. Black is also playing very aggressively. c3, counter-attacking black bishop, also using the fact that the pawn on d3 is pinned. And a bad move by black, knight f7. Well, a better move was bishop d6, though after rook e3, still white has a very dangerous attack. But instead, after c3, we see knight f7. Here comes knight h5, threatening knight f6 checkmate. Of course, the knight can't be captured because of this rook e8 check, winning the queen. After knight h5, we see queen f5, covering the f6 square. And now you can pause the video and try to find a brilliant combination. Ready? White first played rook e8 check, opening up the queen's diagonal, and after rook takes e8, he played queen g4 check, sacrificing the queen in order to deflect black queen. The queen is no longer covering the f6 square, and there it goes, the knight is jumping on f6 square, and believe it or not, but this is a checkmate. White is checkmating black king with a knight and a bishop. What a checkmate. If you enjoyed this mind-blowing attack, don't forget to give the thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. More games are coming. Good luck.